Okay, so we're back again. It's taken a while for me to post another video. We have the 2016 Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. Middle of the winter here. We made some pretty amazing upgrades to this unit. Last time we just talked about the stock bike. So the first and most noticeable thing you'll see about this bike is that we have the mid-rise handlebars, which bring the handlebars with that much clearance with the windshield up. Very different riding position. You'll sit on the bike, feel much more comfortable, arms at ease, whereas the stock handlebars, you still have to lean forward a little bit and you don't get to use the full capacity of that backrest, which is pretty important on this bike. So we added those, and then we added the heated grip aspect of it. They look exactly the same as the stock grips. However, we added this button. Now, one thing to notice here is when you have a dealer install these grips, a lot of times they're in a hurry. They quote you maybe $400 to install the grips, and they slam them on. And right in here, there's a wire, and it gets shaved down. And so I had problems when I first started. We changed the handlebars out, and the grips, they got damaged, so they had to replace them. It was kind of a frustrating experience towards the end of the year riding. So just watch out for that when you have those installed. Don't let your dealer say it's just a malfunction, you have to pay for it all over again. So our second and biggest upgrade is we have the stage 2 cams in the system, and we also have True Duals by Freedom Performance. So we got rid of the Cadillac converter and we did True Dual. So now there's no crossover. If you see here, you can see that the crossover has been removed, and now we have True Duals going there. It sounds wicked. I'm not going to start it up. It's a little too cold. It's about 0 degrees outside. We'll walk around the bike here, kind of give you a good look at the back here. This is the most kind of aesthetic, look at this bike, is that we have Rhinehart slip-ons, which just give it a throat. I tell you, like it's a sound like you wouldn't believe. It makes that wimpy little sound, Indian stock exhaust, just absolutely nothing. I started with the stage 2 upgrade from Indian. Was really disappointed. It was very quiet, so I highly recommend the True Duals and Rhinehart slip-on setup. It sounds awesome. We added a luggage rack to the bike, which is really important. It keeps the scratches off your nice black paint, which does show pretty. It shows pretty big. It's kind of a disappointment. A little scratch, you see it. You see just about everything on this bike. The other thing we added is we added some just standard crash bars. They're kind of nice. Foot position, you can rest your legs a little bit better, and then if you do get in a front end crash, your legs are protected. That's just my opinion. A lot of guys have a different idea of what that is. However, I kind of feel like it's a little bit of a safety thing. So there we have it. We have kind of, overall, we have the True Duals, Rhinehart slip-ons with the mid-rise handlebars and heated grips. Really great upgrades for the bike. Puts it in that loud class of bike once again. Kind of get rid of that stupid Indian, just absolute wimpy sound. I started this out for the first time and sent shivers down my back. I was overjoyed. Thought I'd bought a lemon when I first bought the bike. I just couldn't get it to sound right. True Duals with the slip-ons, and then I put a Dobeck fuel tuner in. Had no problems with the Dobeck fuel tuner. If you look over here, we have an Indian Scout, and we put a power commander in that. We're having all sorts of problems. Check engine lights. Don't recommend the power commanders. Absolute worst thing I've ever bought. Worst $500 I've ever spent. So Dobeck, a little bit simpler of a power tuner. Only a couple settings. guy is the same guy that started Power Commanders. That's what I hear. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. But absolute way worth the money on the True Duals and the Rhinehart slip-ons. I put Castle end caps on here with slots. They got, you can see here, the Rhinehart slip-ons. I mean, these things are wicked when they stand up. I can't tell you how awesome it makes it sound. You look over here. I mean, these things are just beautiful, and it really adds a nice touch to the bike. Matches the rims as well. And then the mid-rise handlebars, you can kind of see it's quite a bit different riding position. One other thing I did add, and I forgot to mention, is that we have a flared windshield. One of the things you'll notice on the stock Indian Chieftain Dark Horse is they have this little tiny round, just kind of, it starts from here and goes over like that, and it's adjustable. However, you get a really large wind bat when you're wearing a half helmet, and it really hurts your ears. So after my first 1,000 miles I put on this bike, I was like, man, I can't take it anymore, and I put a flared windshield, and it makes a huge difference, and the profile of it is not too bad either. It does raise the profile a little bit, make it more like the Roadmaster, but it's well worth the sacrifice when you're going down the road and you don't get any of that annoying wind bat in your ears. So I'll be back probably in a couple months here. It's pretty cold here in Washington State. We got about 3 feet of snow today, so I'm not going to start this puppy up until it's springtime, but hopefully you'll stay tuned and give me a chance to show you what it sounds like, and we'll be back another time. Thanks for watching.